Hi everyone, I'm starting a new embroidery project today and it's a bit different from what I usually do. As you can see from me opening the kit, it's going to be a beautiful little butterfly and I'm making it for my Auntie Mary up in Scotland. Once I've done it, I'm going to send it to her if it's not a disaster. But what's different about it is it's not just embroidery, it's going to have some sequins and some beadwork on it. And I've never done that before. I've done a fair few embroidery projects, but I've never done anything with sequins and beading. But this is a bit of inception. There's a QR code that you scan and it brings up a little tutorial on YouTube. So that's quite handy because there's no written instructions, but I'm going to give it my best shot and I hope it turns out lovely for Auntie Mary because I promised her I would send it to her. And yeah, hope you enjoy this video and I'll show you the progress along the way. It could be a disaster. So for my first little update, I've got it hooped up and it's actually really tiny. It's so small. This is the length of my finger. So I'm not sure how long it will take to do, but I think all of the beading and the sequins will take quite a while. If it was just embroidery, I'd say that would be about 6 hours, but I've never done the sequin work and all of that, so I'm not sure. So I can't predict at the moment. But according to the little tutorial online, it said to do a long and short stitch for this section. So I've done that. And then this bit was satin stitch. And I'm just going to repeat it on this side. But it's so tiny. I just finished, oh, by the way, if you see this big green blob throughout the video, when I first got the kit, I had this for ages in my craft box. And it had this heat erasable pen in it. And it leaked. So it ended up staining the fabric, but I know it will come out with a hairdryer, so it's fine. Don't worry about that. And obviously it's going to go in a frame, so it's not even going to be seen anyway if for some reason it doesn't come out. But what I wanted to say about the size is I just finished this Venice embroidery yesterday and that took me 43 hours to do. And I just thought the size difference was quite funny because obviously the Venice one is quite large and then now I'm doing the tiny butterfly. But you never know, the sequins and the beadwork could actually end up taking me 43 hours, but we'll see as the video goes on and I'll let you know at the end. I thought now would be a good time to do a little update. I'm just coming up to the 4-hour mark and so far I've been doing, it alternates between satin stitch and long and short stitch. But what it's been saying to do with the tutorial, I just come a bit closer, is kind of blend the yellow and the white threads together and then do satin stitch with the pink. But next up, according to the tutorial, what I have to do, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, it's a very sparkly silver thread and it's kind of metallic looking. And I think what I'm meant to do is do the outline of the butterfly. But no beadwork yet, so I can't report back how difficult that is. But so far it's going alright. It's quite easy because obviously it's just normal embroidery at the moment, but I'm quite enjoying it. Quite excitingly, I've just started doing the shimmery thread. I don't know if you can see it properly on camera. I'll try and show you when it's a bit brighter outside, but I'm just doing it in spaces. On the tutorial it shows you to just do it where the lines are on the butterfly, but it looks very pretty, the sparkly shimmery bit. But I do interrupt this broadcast to show you a very wonderful dinner that my other half has cooked. It was a delicious pork knuckle with the best crackling ever, and it was slow cooked, so it was really tasty and delicious and tender. And we also had this cornbread as well, which we made in a frying pan, and it was just really lovely. Right, back to sewing. I was just filming a clip saying how to put the beadwork on because I've just got to that part. I was going to start putting the beadwork on the edges, and I was saying that the instructions say to put 3 beads on the needle. They're very, very tiny beads. Sorry about the camera angle, it's a bit rubbish, but I've got you on my lap looking down. But look at this, I put one of the beads on and it's too big to go over the eye of my needle, so I'm gonna have to try and find a smaller needle, otherwise we're in for a disaster. Okay, we're back again. I managed to get a smaller needle, just to show you in comparison. The one that I was using, there's quite the size difference, and hopefully the beads are going to fit over the end of that one. If you hear gunshots and blowing up in the background, my partner is currently gaming on the computer as I can hear some faint explosions going on in the distance. But Yeah, so what you do is you just thread one of the beads, and I'm not saying this as a tutorial, I've literally just seen this on the video, so I don't know if it's going to work, but it says to thread 3 of the beads over the end, and luckily they do fit over this needle, thank goodness, otherwise we would have been in for a little bit of a disaster. It's quite fiddly to do, and I did drop the beads all over the carpet just now and have to pick them all up, of course, but never mind. So they're going over the edge, and it says to pull them all the way down, so you can see that there, and I believe we're just tucking it in where the 3 line up. The camera angle might not be very good because I've got you on my lap and I'm just trying to show it as best as I can, but it said to pull it through there, and then to secure it, come up between each of the beads, which is about there, and then go back down there, so it's securing each bead individually. And I have to repeat that for all of the beads around the edge. There's quite a few to do, which I'll put a little clip in of it, and hopefully that holds it steady, and that's good enough, but that's how it says to do it. And we have 3 beads. I carried on doing the beadwork for a while late into the evening, and it was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. When I first looked at the kit, I thought, oh, this is going to be really hard, but it's actually, once you get the hang of it, it's fine. It's the next day and I'm just about to start doing some more embroidery, but this is how it's looking. I finished all of the beadwork around the outer bit last night, and I'm going to be doing some sequins today. They're little pink ones, and they're basically going to be going around the outer bit, and then there's a lighter shade of sequins that go on the inner bit, but from what I saw of the tutorial, it's just you bring the thread up, put the sequin on, and then bring the thread back down again to secure it. I found the sequins slightly more difficult than the beading, just because they're so light and delicate, so it was a bit fiddly to get them on the needle, but I got the hang of it in the end and it's going well. By the way, do you like my needle minder? I really love it. I've had it for nearly a year and I love it so much. I thought now would be a good time to do a little update. I'm about 8 hours in and I've been doing the sequin work the last couple of days, but look how sparkly it's looking in the sun. I just started putting all these tiny beads on, what you can see here, and they're so small, I keep dropping them. I've got them on this and they're so mini. I don't know how many I've dropped on the carpet, but I was just turning around to put some music on the iPad, which is there, and I noticed, look at all of the sparkles. This is coming off of the sequins, which, how fantastic. It's like a disco, isn't it? I've made a bit of an executive decision to leave some bits off. You see these little blue flower beads that are in here. If you have a look at the instructions, you'll see, let me just reverse out, there are the little flower beads on there, but they look more white. However, I'm aware when I ordered this kit ages ago, there was a pink version of the butterfly and a blue version of the butterfly, and I think there's been a mix-up with what they've given me, because I think they look way too blue to be on this. So what I've done instead, let me just get you in camera again. It's all very complicated, this business, isn't it? What I've done instead is just add on more of the little beads and some sequins where they would have been, and just filled it out a bit. And then I've done the middle body of the butterfly as well, so it's not far from being finished, and I hope she likes it. It's very sparkly. Okay, I think it's just about finished. I'm going to check it and just make sure there's no gaps in the stitching and everything, and then I'll be washing it, and then it has to go in this nice little square frame and it will be ready to send. So here are the final results for Auntie Mary's butterfly. I washed it and I let it dry in the sun for a couple of days, just to make sure it was perfectly dry, and then I backed it onto a piece of cardboard and just trimmed the fabric a bit, folded it over into a square, and then glued the back of that. So no glue would come onto the actual embroidery, it's on like the back of the cardboard. And then I put it in the frame, and I also got her this card, which it's a bouquet of flowers with some butterflies on, and I'm going to send them together in a little box. But I hope she likes it, because she's a lovely woman and she's one of those people who's very pure-hearted and a good soul, an honest, good person. So I hope she enjoys receiving it in the post. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make the lovely embroidery butterfly. I don't mind having another go at doing some more beadwork in the future, and it's given me lots of ideas. But I hope to see you in the next one. Please feel free to subscribe and have a lovely day. Bye.